If you're below 1800, you attack kings wrong. Let me show you how to use a closed center as the fuel and a sacrifice as a spark to get an explosive kingside checkmating attack. In the previous video, I learned you how I blunder and learn how to not do it again by actually changing my thinking system instead of just seeing the blunder and thinking, oh no, let's not do that again, but that will not ever help. So this is a very weird move order and I have no clue what to do, except I know that this is a weak square, so let's just take it. And yeah, I don't know, I think I'll just turn it in a normal Vienna. I very much want to clamp down on this weakness. And yeah, if you do this, that's very good for me because I can go to a2 and my weird a3 move is now justified. This move actually accomplishes nothing. And I was thinking about putting my bishop in there, but is there any merit to it? I'm not quite sure. What is my plan? Probably making a pawn break. So what I'm thinking is just takes is takes, and now I am already putting pressure on your weak pawn. And if you don't take, I might be able to or push or take, leaving both pawns quite weak. Yeah, okay, that's probably a good move, but now I'm pretty sure this kills both of your bishops. So that should be very good. Maybe this will be a plan, and how do you defend this? Because you're not gonna play your bishop to e6 anytime soon. So I think putting my knight here, and that will be very annoying to deal with. Yeah, I think you have to move your queen right now so that you can put the knight on d8, which is first of all hard to see. I should calculate takes. I pin your knight, you can defend it. That doesn't make sense, so let's just go to the place I vacated for my bishop. If you go here, do I even care? Maybe I can just, I don't know. So let's just develop. If you do this, I can save. Do I want to take? Yeah, so that's not a bad move. Let's just castle. I'm playing very quickly. I don't know. If you castle, this will be a pin, so maybe I want my knight in here, so that if you castle, I can get in, attack your rook, you have to move, maybe take your bishop. Do I want to take your bishop? Maybe I just want my queen in and sack my bishop. That looks bad. I can take, if you take like this, I can just move my knight and, I don't know. If I take, you take like that, this will be exposed, so I can get my bishop to attack it. Do I want to take? Probably not, but my only issue is that I want to do this, but that blunders a pawn. So I basically want a improving move without... Can I improve something without moving my queen so I can see if he will take? I mean, putting my queen here doesn't make sense. I can put my knight here already, but if you take this knight, I have to take with the queen, and why? If I move my bishop, if takes and takes, I don't know. If I move my bishop and you don't take, then I want to take and I don't want to allow this. So maybe I should take so that this is forced, because otherwise I will get my bishop to f4. Then I can rotate my knight, rotate my queen, put a queen here, put a bishop there. Maybe... How do I activate my knight after? I don't know, but I'll figure it out. Yeah, I think I have to take. And if you take like this, I'll be happy. So now I will rotate my knight over. And you have an open file, which might be annoying. But I mean, probably this is a good move to stop me from... Huh, fair enough. Fair enough. So put a rook here, put my bishop over here. I don't know, this is maybe annoying. I do not understand that move at all. Your queen is... Do you want to queenside castle? That's impossible. Nah, it's impossible to queenside castle. So maybe I want to go here. So if bishop here, knight here. If you move, I can take. If you take, I can take. And this is a problem. So I think I want my knight here. But if you queenside castle, I want this pawn break. So that if takes, I might be able to take with... Do I want to take with the knight? Oh wait, if you take, it's check. Maybe I have to move my king so I can make this pawn break. Yeah, that looks like a very nice improving move. Getting my king off of this diagonal and just seeing what you do. If you do this, indicating you want to kingside castle, I'll go here, I think. Yeah, okay. So maybe you kingside castle, actually. And now that will become a issue, I think. Maybe not. Huh. It should be an issue. So the center is closed though. You are not forced to castle yet. And I still don't know. Oh, maybe I defend the pawn like this. But then maybe here, there. What if I a4? If you push, I'm totally fine with that. Yeah, okay, so maybe if you put a rook over here, I can just defend it like this and move my queen somewhere. I want this trade to occur so that I can take. Maybe he castles, maybe he doesn't. But I think here, if you don't take, take, but then I can get a queen in there, which should be a problem. I assume. I assume. What if it isn't the problem? Is that possible that that's just not a problem? It's not a problem if you aren't castle there. Oh, but this is hanging too. So if I go here, you don't take, I have check, move. I don't know if that looks present because you will get a quite strong attack, I think. What does that do? So if I go here, take, take, you have queen takes. Do I care? I have check. I don't know, I can just defend it and still see what he does. Hmm. Here, take, take, queen takes, and I don't know why I did all of that. I do get queen takes, king somewhere, and yeah, I don't know. I do not know. So probably defending this first and still looking like, where are you castling? Is probably the best course of action. And just playing it slow. I think one thing that I have to learn if I want to climb is to stop my opponent's threats, maybe even more often than posing my own threats. Like, I am not good at knowing when to put on the gas something and when to argue, I stop your threat, what now? And I think this is a case where I should stop his threat. I, by the way, never thought about this sacrifice, but I don't think it works. You castle! Madman. So if I go here, are you forced to take? Otherwise I have takes. I can come in here and that looks very unpleasant. So I think this is totally fine. Wow. Um, Crazy. So take. Queen can come in here. And maybe I'm threatening to take, check, you have to come back. I can take, but you're still quite well defended, actually. If I take. Take. Queen can come in here. Attacking a lot of things. You have to defend it, I assume. After which I can maybe push this. I do have to be careful for takes because this is still pinned now. I mean, it's pinned if I do that. I also have take, attack, but you move, and after takes and takes, I haven't achieved anything. I can take. That's not strong enough. So take, get my queen in here. You have to defend. It's difficult to pose a threat somehow. If I bring my rook, you have takes. I attack your knight. That's stupid. So I think takes, otherwise I will not be able to infiltrate. Now I have to think, is this strong? So that I can take, check, you move. Takes, and I don't actually have a checkmating threat. If I go here, you have to defend. And I can just bring my rook. Yeah. Maybe go here so I can take, and break like this. Yeah, that should be the best course of action. Fair enough. And now Let's see how you stop this. If you go here, I can just take. If you go here, I can just take. If you go here... that should lose to something. Not quite sure what yet. Maybe take. So if you take, I can take. And this will be check here, mate. I don't know what that does. I think that's a bad move. How do you defend against takes? So if you take, I have check, come in here, this is mate. You go like this. Takes, check here. I should be able to just take this if that's too bad. Is this stronger? Take. No. No, I don't even have a threat. So I can just go here, and how do you defend against my sacrifice? Rook here looks like the best course of action, but I think I can take. And queen check is a mating threat, so you cannot take your eyes off the f7 pawn. And I haven't pushed this. If I were to take, you could take, sack your bishop, but it's not actually check. So it doesn't work. For example, if I push this, I said that this spin could be annoying, and it would be. After rook here, I could here, he could sack his queen, sack the bishop with a check, take my queen back, and yeah, that could have been very annoying, but now if you move your rook, I can just take, and this is a checkmating threat, this is still a threat, and I think we're doing great. I think we're doing great. And just because he did one move that wasn't actually all too aggressive nor defensive. And I want to know if I won this game because of my slow moves. I mean, I didn't actually win the game yet. Maybe I should shut up. But how do you defend? How do you defend? If you go like this, I can just take, and you cannot take back because this is already made in one. So take, if you don't take back, I'll sacrifice and get in. So how do you defend? I don't know. Maybe I should pause the recording and see what my opponent does. So my opponent picked his poison, sacked his bishop. What if we ignore and just take? Threatening to take with a check. If you take, this is mate. So what if I take, you take this maybe. Then I can take with a check. You have to go here. After check, there, check, block. Oh, I can take that because of the pin. So what if I go for the slow option and I take the bishop? The bishop and the pawns weren't participating anyway. So if I take, you push, I can still sack my bishop. If you try to queen or something, I don't care, I can take, and this will lead to mate. And but what if I sack right now? You can take with a check, I can check, you can check, I move here. Do I want to allow those complications? Does it matter? So can I just sack? Oh, as queen takes? the threat, but then I can take with a check. You have to come in here. I can check, move here. Check. You are forced to block. I think I can just sack right away, but is there a need for those complications? I could just take and argue that nothing has changed, except that you can play this now and your f7 pawn is actually defended. So after takes, check, you run. Oh, I can take the... Oh, I cannot because this bishop. So if takes, rook here, take, 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 king over here, I can check. Yeah, that's mate, so I think I should just take and there's nothing. Now this works, but it doesn't. It very much doesn't. Can take, have to run, and I have check. GG. GG. Well played to my opponent. So yeah, he thought like this is safe, but I can move, you cannot capture my queen. You can block, but that's mate, and that's your only move, I think. Do I have a beautiful mate here? Block, rook takes, go here, double check, run. Probably not. Let's just go for the mate in one. Yeah, okay, he gives up. Fair enough. So I want to know, this is one thing I changed in my playing style. Usually I always aggress and go for the aggressive option. But lately, I don't know, I watched some Centurion chess. Shout out Centurion chess. He explains things very well, and his playing style is like constantly defending every threat and only then going for his threats, which is crazy to me because I always play quite the opposite. So I shuffled around. So this is fine. This is an opening move. That's the best move. Just controlling his weak square. Controlling his weak square. This doesn't matter. So we just develop best move. This is fine. So I make a pawn break trying to develop, which is fine. And here I just shut out both of your bishops to make it difficult for you. You attack my bishop, but I don't care. I made a square anyway. You can develop, but I do not care. I can develop as well, which isn't the best move. I'm trying to see the difference between this and this. I think the difference is that if I go here, bishop here, I have the option to rotate my knight like this. But I think that's very slow, so I played one of the okay moves, but he defended accordingly. And this is one of the moves, like, in I think like 4 or 3 videos ago, I said that my playing style is very much making bruises and just putting pressure until I have little bruises. And once I have the bruises, I can put pressure on the bruises until they get bigger. And this is exactly what I'm doing. So I'm putting pressure, threatening some pressure, pressuring a weak square. I did a pawn break. This is now very weak. I will have a strong rook. And this is a bruise. This just weakens this. I control it. If you castle, it's pinned, so this will be my square. And this is a bruise. This is potentially a pawn break. Like, this is already a tiny bruise. So here I struggled a little finding the best... oh no, after this. So I wanted to know if he would take me. And the best thing to do is move my knight here. Why? Queen up, just attack. And we are not scared of takes, rook here. This is a fork. Just getting forked is fine. Takes, and this is fine even though we are losing material-wise. Yeah, I don't know if I like this. That's +3, which is quite difficult for me to comprehend. So we are slightly better. Oh, I said I wanted a improving move, which didn't touch my queen, my knight, my rook, or my bishop, and I can just move my king here. So knight move, bishop move, and then king move. Yeah, this move is quite nice. And just looking, do you take, do you take? If you don't, and you just move, now I will take, because I know you will not make the mistake of taking. Yeah, but I took, which is bad, and now I'm slightly worse even. I'm slightly worse, but he has to find this pawn break, fair enough. I did give him a pawn break, and this is one thing Centurion Chess always does very well. He stops all of the pawn breaks before he does something, which is something I learned from him that is very important. And I didn't do it. Like, stopping this pawn break is very important. That's why the engine prefers this move. And after takes, and takes, we damaged our own structure. The center is less locked. But he doesn't have a pawn break, which is very, very, very important. And that's something I learned from Centurion Chess, which I didn't apply. I didn't want to damage my structure, but I will have to damage my structure anyway if I allow this pawn break. So, yeah, that's a very tiny mistake that someone of a 2000 level would have found and would have exploited. Like a 2000 rated, even a 1900, I think, would have found the pawn break. I look for pawn breaks a lot, so he did this move which I didn't understand. That's the best move. That's hilarious. So he didn't find the pawn break again. I developed for an attack and now I'm losing again. Okay. Oh, you just start harassing me on the king side. Takes, push the pawn. No. What if you queenside castle? That pawn is important. I will sack the pawn for sure. What? That pawn is important. Crazy. Yeah, so apparently I was losing again. But I mean, he had to find a pretty weird move, and I defend, which is not good. I have to go like this, and after takes, I did evaluate this, and I saw this, you run, and no, you run over here, and I have no clue why I'm winning here. I mean, I can take, but after, oh, your bishop isn't defended. Oh, that's the annoying part. And if you go for this, I have check. You still have to defend, and I can take with an attack on your rook. Oh, that's disgusting. Okay, I didn't see that. And after this, I can take, and now this is a threat because this will be detrimental if I get in. But getting in is not that easy, to be honest. I have to defend the pawn. You can still take the pawn. I have to sack a rook. But if you take, I get this. And now you have to sack your queen. But what's my threat? I don't even see my threat, to be honest. Is it pushing my pawn? Oh, it is. It is. And you cannot move your bishop because I have mates. Oh, not that. My mouse is doing weird again. Oh, pushing the pawn is a big... Okay. Yeah, okay, fair enough. I didn't see that whole sequence. So I was slightly losing again, and I should have sacrificed the pawn. But I was scared and I defended. But he has the pawn break again, yeah, so I should have stopped the pawn break is probably the main takeaway if I want to break 2000. Stop pawn breaks. This is also a move, but I thought after this I was just fine, and this is quite a nice blockade for me. So stopping pawn breaks is one of the biggest issues I have, and after castling knight here and this, the best move is actually to take and take because I can get in with the queen. You have to defend, and now I saw the two best moves, but I didn't want to play this because of the pin. But I mean, I guess this is defended, but I mean, maybe there are some complications after I do this, and you can take... Oh, I am stupid. Okay. I'm I'm stupid. Okay. So I was scared of this pin, but it's very well defended, and yeah, okay, I'm just stupid, fair enough. So I saw the second best option. He still has to make the pawn break, which he doesn't find, and this is horrible. So here I have to decide how to try and kill him, but I do find the second best option. Apparently I can sacrifice here and only then play this. And you cannot defend because I can sag this pawn. Rook here. Oh, and this is also a threat. Now, this is not made yet, though. But I mean, check here, takes with a check, you have to go, and then I will take, yeah, fair enough. So you have to sack like this, I can take, you have to sack your queen, if you don't, I have takes. Disgusting. Yeah, fair enough, I didn't see that, so I put more pressure. The pawn break is his best try, he sacks his bishop, and apparently I can do this. What was I scared of? I think takes. Oh, I have check. Oh, I didn't see check. I don't have to take. Yeah, because if I take, it's a draw. This is a draw. Yeah, okay, so I did evaluate. I did think take with a check and you have to take back, so I didn't actually see that my queen was hanging. I mean, not hanging, but... Yeah, so I did choose the save option. But I did have mate after this, and now... Yeah, I was scared of this, but I didn't see this check, and now I don't open up your king, I don't open up anything. That's crazy. And the other thing was this, but probably the same thing. Yeah, I didn't see this check. So you have to take, and you cannot really sag, but check here, and I said I don't want to allow this much complication, but there is nothing here, and now you just sack everything. He has to sack, run, but you have check here and mate. I mean, I don't know, I'm always scared of those complications, even though I'm clearly seeing that, okay, he has 4 checks, but there are no follow-up checks. But I'm still scared that I miscalculate, so I did take back, which is bad. Now you can go for this, sack, and you should just move. No, that's disgusting. Here, defend, defend, take, take, and I am up a piece. But that's about it. Oh, and I still have a lot of pressure. You have to go and you cannot actually defend this pawn, which is quite hilarious. And if you do this, I can get in. Just get in. Your best move is to just blunder a skewer, which is crazy. Oh, but you cannot stop it. If you go here, check, here, check, go, and now I can take, and your rook is undefended. Wow, okay, that's beautiful. Fair enough. Yeah, so I'm still winning. I'm up a piece, but your king is still unsafe. And actually opening up the g file was very good for me. So I did miss my chance. and but he did not really follow it up quite well. I have check as well, which leads to a mate in 15, so I don't care. I have takes, which leads to a mate in 12. So I did find the best and most beautiful thing, and I mean, either way you take, I was still calculating like check here. Oh, this is mate as well. Yeah, fair enough. That's a beautiful mate. I was only thinking about double check. Yeah, but I always ladder mate you, so fair enough, that works as well. If you go hero, I mean, I can ladder mate you like this. So there were some beautiful checkmates. I didn't really find them, to be honest, but I mean, I still have the maiden one, and he just stopped. So I hope you learned. I definitely learned a lot, and like and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you in the next one.